Alright guys, shh. So we're about to start the final debate. This debate is going to decide who's going to be the top two, first and second place. So the topic for all the parents, if you don't know, the topic is school uniforms should be mandatory. And the team of LLH is going to be proposition, the other team is going to be opposition. So we're going to start now. The first proposition speaker can commence. The timer is right over there. Jamming already. Okay.
Whenever you're ready. My name is Kevin Lee, and today I'm going to be the first speaker for the proposition side. So I'm going to first define the definition of school uniforms should be mandatory. School uniforms means an article of clothing worn by students for a school or institution for educated children. Mandatory means required by laws or rules. And my summary is that school uniforms should be mandatory because they create a better learning environment. They increase safety and unity, creates a focus on education, and is cheaper. We're going to use uniforms in elementary and middle school, then phase out into high school so students can prepare for adulthood. My first point is it increases students' safety. Everyone is dressed the same and more recognizable. Intruders can be easily recognized. After 2 years of mandatory uniform policy in Long Beach, California, for grades K through 8, fighting incidents went down by 51%, sex were cut off by 74%, robbery dropped by 65%, possession of weapon decreased by 52%, and possession of drugs went down by 69%. And I got this from the Education and Urban Society. This matters because students' safety is way more important than school uniforms. My next point is that it keeps students focused on education, not clothes. When all students are wearing the same outfit, they will focus on school, not what they wear. A 2010 University of Houston study showed that elementary school girls' language test scores increased by 3 percentile points, which is large considering grades after wearing uniform. I got this from Utella's Edu. This matters because if you focus on your clothes and not your education, you will get a bad grade in school. My next point is that it decreases bullying with everyone with the same clothes. There is no competition for who has the best clothes. We're teasing people with less fashionable outfits. This also prevents the use of gang color. In a 2013 survey by the National Association of Elementary School Principals, 86% of school leaders said uniforms make a significant positive impact on peer pressure, and 64% of people say that they reduce bullying. And I got this from National Association for Elementary School Principals.org. This matters because you won't be bullied and be sad. The last point is that school uniforms cost less as compared to preferred clothing of the child. Nowadays, clothes like school uniforms are pretty cheap. Also, money will be spent on useless fads and that will die out quickly. This saves parent money that can be used to make their child's life better or other needs. Average annual cost for uniform is $249. An average annual cost on non-uniform school clothing is more. And I got this from Status Brain Bureau of Labor Statics. In the United Kingdom, average uniform costs were $128.79 per outfit. And average, but out of school clothes costs were average $165.79 per outfit. And I got this information from schoolwearassociation.co.uk. Depends on clothes. And 89% of parents have some sort of budget that they can use to help their children and spend money wisely. They will use the extra money well. And I got this from T. Rowell Price. This matters because parents can save money to spend on their needs and for their kids. And this will conclude my debate. Thank you.
Time?
It's 4 minutes, 20 seconds. Oh, time's 4 minutes, 20 seconds.
Now we have the first opposition speaker.
Okay. Hello, my name is Anushka Banga, and I'm the first opposition speaker for the debate topic that school uniforms should be mandatory. So to start off, I'd like to make the definition a little bit more specific. He said that school uniforms should be worn to school, obviously, but this school is private and public schools in kindergarten through 12th grade. So now going on to review 3 out of 4 of Proposition 1's points. So firstly, Proposition 1 said that school uniforms increase safety and decrease bullying. Now I'm going to counter that with a point of my own, which states that school uniforms actually increase bullying. Once clothing is put out of the picture, bullies then pay attention to a whole new series of topics to bully on, such as hairstyles, interests, and academies. A 2007 national study by the Southwest Journal of Criminal Justice showed that after adopting school uniforms, an average of 14 more incidents occurred in schools per year. The Office of Education, Evaluation, and Management of the Miami-Dade County all discovered similar findings. Research shows that a student's distinct personality will stand out, especially once clothing is put out of the picture. And this is from PolitiFact and ListMatch. Now, I'm going to refute another one of Proposition 1's point, which is focused with another one of my points. So he said that students are allowed to stay focused with school uniforms. Well, school uniforms actually decrease concentration. School uniforms, being the same, actually bring up comparison on how students look in their uniforms, making some students feel uncomfortable.
You want?
Yes?
So you say that when students compare how they feel in uniforms, that makes them feel more uncomfortable. But if students didn't have uniforms, wouldn't that make them even more uncomfortable? Because now they're comparing all the different styles they're wearing and all the different brands, and there's so much more to compare.
Okay, yeah, that's a point. But according to child and teen development specialist Robin Silverman, students feel that their uniforms allow for a lot of comparison in who wore it best, and this worry depletes their ability to learn. Okay, so now that I've completed 3 out of 4 of Proposition 1's points, the 4th point will be refuted by Opposition 2. I will move on to my own case. So my first point is that school uniforms hinder vital skills. Students lose out on vital decision-making every single day, therefore depleting their decision-making skills. This also negatively affects on creativity skills. Schools also can't, to be figurative, stuff students into clothing that isn't their comfortable style. Therefore, students lose out on very important life skills like decision-making and self-confidence. Students will lose on approximately 2,430 decisions during the kindergarten through 12th school year. Uniforms demote pupils' diverse creativity, therefore lowering their self-confidence and self-esteem. This is from the Huffington Post. Yes?
Yes. So you say that the students lose out on lots of decisions to make every day through kindergarten and 4th grade, but isn't that almost a good thing? Because like the students, they don't have very much life experience, especially if they're just in kindergarten. So having adults help them make the decisions and making it for them will help them get better experience so that they can make those decisions on their own. If they don't have adults helping them with that, then they might make really bad decisions.
Yes, that's true. But now they can't make decisions at all. Even when they're taught, that teaching will will not come in any use because now they won't use it at all for kindergarten through 12th grade. So now moving on to my other point, school uniforms delete primary impressions. Since every student is dressed exactly the same, students can judge who would be a good to befriend. Whereas if you have your own dressing sense, students would have a proper initial idea of a person's personality. A 2006 Princeton review stated that usually the first 1/10 of a second is used to judge a person's appearance and his affects a person's idea of another person. A 2009 study published in the journal Personality and Social Psychology Bulletin found that their clothing style and posture played a role in initial perceptions. This is from the Huffington Post. So now that all my points are done, I'd like to conclude it. They all make an impact because it basically shows that if we have school uniforms, then students, it will make them perform worse in academics, and it will decrease their concentration. That's all I have for you, judges. Thank you.
With a time of 5 minutes and 24 seconds.
Hello, my name is Sunny, and I am the second proposition speaker. I will start off by first refuting some of their refutes and points, and then say my own points, and then summarize. So for my first refute, they refuted to there's more safety and there's no bullying by saying that there's an increase in bullying, but there's less things to bullying, which decreases the chance of bullying by a lot. Now the second, they said they refuted to you focus on education more by saying that you can bully others by other topics like their hairstyle, etc. But there's still less topics to bully, so there's less to hold. Now for their skills, you said you lose vital skills.
Opinionated.
But as my teammate said in the POI, you can be assisted by parents, so it will make you have better choices.
Being helped by parents is one thing, but getting all these decisions made by parents is another. If you don't learn how to make your own choices, you won't be as responsible and you won't develop as good as people in college. And it's very important to be responsible from the beginning if you're going to be successful in business.
Well, there's still time to help you develop your own own choices. It's not like you have to wear uniforms till you die. You still have time. And I'm gonna now go into my own topics. So for my first, I have 2 points. My first point says that you can enhance school pride. With everyone in a uniform, you feel like a whole, thus having school pride. This leads to better social interactions. A 2002 study over 1,000 Texas middle school students found that students in uniform reported significantly more positive perceptions of belonging in their school community than reported by students in the standard dress group. And this is from NewYorkTimes.com. Now, this impacts the debate because now, if you have school pride, life is more happy because you're with you have your whole school to help you. And when life is more happy, then then you can be more successful. Because the happier you are, the better you do on tests, which results in good colleges and more and successful career.
You are. Yes. By wearing a specific jersey, or not jersey, a specific suit, how does it make you happier in such an exaggerated way?
Because you have school pride. Everyone in their school is supporting you because you are more happy because there's a whole school with you. And my second point is that there's no worry for dress code. If you wear uniforms to school, dress code will be no matter because you don't need to miss class for like detention or anything like that. The dress code is something that does not allow you to wear clothes in school that are not supposed to be worn, and they only allow you to wear uniforms, so they no worry.
So kids could still break the rule beside wearing school uniforms by wearing something else, right?
Well, you can't really wear something else if you're wearing a uniform. And this is from greatschools.org. And this impacts the whole debate because there's no chance of breaking the rule. And that means you will be a better student. And again, will lead to more successful careers. And thank you, Judge. That will conclude my speech.
That was with a time of 4 minutes and 52 seconds.
Hello, my name is Nihar. I'm the opposition 2 speaker for school uniforms should not be mandatory. So first, I'm going to begin with stating my refutes, then I'll state my points, and then make a quick recap of my points. So to begin with, I'll just start with the points. So Sunny was talking about how there are less things to bully about if you have school uniforms. Again, that's not true, as said in earlier POIs, because bullies will just migrate to something different, like resorting to teasing someone's religion or their personal beliefs. That can hurt doing instead of just being bullied about something as trivial as clothing. And then about parents making choices for you. About parents making choices for you, that won't make you develop faster, and it will just lag the way you develop. For his third point, he's talked about enhancing school pride, but is it really enhancing school pride if you're forced to wear the clothes? It's not really enhancing school pride. It's just being forced to do something. And for my last one, his last point, he says there's no dress code worries, but honestly, if in one of my points, I'm going to talk about how for something as trivial as not wearing the belt, you can get 1 day detention, and if you don't wear the school clothes for 2 times in a row, you get suspended. So my first 2 points also answer some of their reviews. So to begin with, I would like to say that school uniforms have present a whole new set of harsh punishments. If students were to take off their school uniform during lunch, they would have to suffer through 1 hour detention or on-campus suspension. While punishments may vary from school to school, the common punishments for K through 12 are the lowest punishments being a warning, and the harshest being Saturday school, which is extremely harsh just for clothing. Violations of the rules including things like not wearing a belt if the pant has a belt. On average, 15 students per day are punished with 1 hour detention and on-campus suspension for trivial things like wearing a striped shirt instead of wearing a solid white shirt under their uniform. We got this from flaggerlive.com, bboed.org, and newamericamedia.org, which are all very educated sources because they have information on both sides. and they have defeats for their defeats as well. Going on to my third point, school uniforms are against the spirit of the First Amendment. Technically, they're not against the First Amendment because they have a permit, but the First Amendment states that you have freedom of expression. And what school uniforms do is they take away your right to express yourself using clothing. Because many children have trouble expressing themselves using clothing, so they resort to clothing. So this backs them into a corner where they're forced to talk, even if they're shy, forced to do what they don't want to do, which is technically against the spirit of the law. For my fourth one, my second to last one, school uniforms in fact create decreases in student behavior. There are many places where students start in-school protests about school uniforms, according to teacher, principal, and superintendent Todd A. Dimitri. In fact, there were 9 lawsuits against schools because of student behavior before 2014 about decreases in student behavior. We got this from theconversation.com. And for my last and final point, I would like to say that school uniforms take away the point of a free education. Because they're so expensive. As I said before, they're $249, and they're on average every year Americans pay $1.3 billion just for clothes. Okay, so now I'll just recap all of my points. So my first one is about harsh punishments for something really trivial, like not wearing a solid white shirt under your uniform, or not wearing your belt. There's really harsh punishments. And also, it's really expensive. It's $249 and costs $1.3 billion statewide. And then it's against the spirit of the First Amendment. And it also makes decreases in student behavior, 9 lawsuits in fact. And it takes away the point of free education. With this, I would like to conclude my speech. Thank you, judges.
Now is the time of 5 minutes flat.
Our second assertion is that school uniforms decrease concentration. School uniforms being the same actually bring up the comparison of who wore it best. Our third assertion was that school uniforms hinder vital skills. Students lose out on a vital decision every single day, therefore depleting their decision-making skills. This also negatively affects on creativity skills. Our next assertion is that school uniforms delete primary impression. Since every single student is dressed exactly the same, students can't judge who would be good to be friendly. Our following assertion is that school uniforms have harsh punishments.
Don't judge, look.
Students have to suffer through very harsh punishments for trivial things, such as not wearing a belt should their pant have belt loops. Our next assertion is that school uniforms waste money. School uniforms cost a lot of money, an average of $249. And that money could be used on more important things that could enhance learning experiences. Comparison. Our next assertion is that school uniforms are against the First Amendment spirit. Sure, they might have a permit to do this, but it's still against the spirit of the First Amendment, the ability for freedom of expression. Our second to last assertion is that school uniforms decrease student behavior. There are many places where students start in school protests about school uniforms, according to teacher, principal, and superintendent Todd A. Mitchell. Our final assertion is that School uniforms take away the purpose of a free education. Public schools are supposed to be free, but having families mandatorily paying extra money for school uniforms violates the purpose of the public schools. And before I get into the 2-row analysis, I'm going to talk about our refutes. So the first proposition speaker said that school uniforms increase safety, are cheaper, keep the students more focused, and decrease bullying. However, our opposition 1 speaker refuted every single one of those, saying that using our assertions to point out that school uniforms actually decrease safety, cost more, and they keep the students less focused, and they increase bullying. In addition, Proposition 2 speaker, they brought up 3 points. It increases school pride. They don't have to worry about the dress code anymore, and there's less things to bully about. However, Opposition 2 speaker pointed out that school pride isn't really true school pride if it's forced. There's harsh punishments, so they do have to worry about the dress code. And in response to there's less things to bully, there's a new set of topics. In comparison, every single one of our 9 points still stand. However, there was still a back and forth on hinders vital skills. They responded that they can still helped by their parents. However, Opposition 2 responded, you need to start at the beginning or else you won't be successful in life. So now I'm going to go into our thesis. So it's easy to see the difference between our 2 worlds. The opposition world students are focused, creative, and good decision makers. They don't have to worry about bullying, harsh punishments, wasting money, or who would be a good friend or not. Most importantly, they have the comfort of not going against the spirit of the First Amendment. The proposition world students are unfocused, uncreative, and bad decision makers. They have to worry about bullying, harsh punishments, wasting money, and who to befriend. They go against the whole spirit of the First Amendment, the freedom of expression. Like I said, the difference is quite clear. The opposition has positive students creating a healthy school atmosphere today, and a successful business empire tomorrow. Thank you.
Now the time of 4 minutes and 10 seconds.
So my name is Isaac Hare, and I am the 3rd proposition speaker. So I'd like to start off by first giving you guys a roadmap of what I'm going to say. So I will first refute the opposition 2 speakers' refutes and their points. Then I will summarize our points and explain why all of the opposition points are invalid. And then I will explain why we won, and finally give a 2-world analysis and summary. So first of all, to refute our opposition 2 speaker. First of all, with his refutes, when we said that, first of all, with his points, he said that it gives harsh punishments for not wearing uniforms. However, 15 students every day might seem like a lot, but in the entire United States, that's actually a very small number because there's thousands of schools in the United States. And he also brought up that it violates the First Amendment, the spirit of the First Amendment. However, we've had presidents, we've had Bill Clinton actually agree with school uniforms and how if they decrease bullying in schools and if they help schools, then we should have those. And also the Supreme Court ruled that they could be used in schools. Still against spirit.
And also, you said that it decreases student behavior, but this is illogical, and Brock University meta-analysis showed that this didn't happen. And finally, for your last point, our review was that school uniforms are actually less expensive than regular clothes. It's $129 per outfit versus $165 per outfit for a regular one. And you had no comparison there. And now for your refutes. You went from our first proposition's point, or our second proposition's point, that it brings a focus on education. You said that people can bully on how it looks, but overall, this is still much less.
And you went on to say that it encourages bullies, but still there's less for them to bully on, and bullies are still going to be bullied on religion and whatnot. It's not like they don't know that that's there. And also for the decreased bullying, you said that they would again increase that, but like I already said, they already know about everything. They can bully, or they at least know about a lot of things, so they'll still be less on that. And so again, our points were that it increases safety in schools, it brings a focus on education, it decreases bullying, it costs less, and all these make for a great environment in schools to make great students. And and we also had the points that it enhances school pride, and there's no word for the dress codes, like this makes getting dressed in the morning easier. And then all of their points, we've already disproved them as we went along. So like
No free education.
so losing vital skills, it's worth doing that to stop the bullying attacks, and also judging those judgings would be unfair, judging by how they look, so that's bad. And I've already gone over the refutes for our second opposition speaker, so now into why we won. We had reliable sources, we had logical points, we had good evidence. However, the opposition side, they were kind of unsure, they said a lot, and they had less sources.
Untrue.
And for a true world analysis, in our world, the proposition world, students feel free to express themselves and more unique or independent, leading to a better overall performance. And in opposition's world, in our world, so students feel together as a group, right? They can work better. And in opposition's world, students feel disconnected from their peers, and everyone's is weak and bullying is rampant. So our world is clearly better, Judge. That will conclude my speech.
And that was the time of 4 minutes and 20 seconds.